What's up, peeps? Think we're playing. No, I hope so. Yeah. Says I have an 8. Yay! Okay. So, first of all, hi. Apologizing for not having this done on time. Again, Dr. Garza, I know we're all apologizing 24/7, so I'm going to stop doing that. So, because of spring break and distractions with that, and also because of the short paper that most of you know has been just insanity for all of us, I still do not have a whole lot for my paper. I'm definitely learning a lot of stuff. So just enjoy the little information I have. It probably won't help you a whole lot out in your own research or whatever, but here goes nothing. So mine is digital literacy, is what I'm doing with mine, and we'll start out with, I'm just going to kind of show you guys what I do when I'm wanting to write a paper, or when I'm doing my research, kind of. So with this one, I've been using Google Scholar, which has been like basically my BFF this semester. I'm going to admit that before this, I had no idea what Google Scholar even was, which is extremely embarrassing. Do not judge me, though. Alright, you can judge me, whatever. So then, so at Google Scholar, so I would do digital literacy. Aha. And all these things on digital literacy come up. Yay! And let's see here. So this is one that I recently looked at, Origins and Concepts of Digital Literacy. So what I do is I kind of do my decisions that I make on what I look at, kind of based off of what I see in the title, what kind of catches my eye. This one caught my eye because with this I'm kind of trying to look at origins and where things began with digital literacy. I think that's probably going to be the most helpful with the white paper. So hopefully I'm on the right track. Don't know if I am or not. Oh well if I'm not. Well, actually not oh well. But anyways, okay, so we're opening that up. And this is actually a book. So, but I'm going to be looking, I looked at chapter 1, but I mean the whole book is awesome. You know, lots of information to read. So we're going to go down to, and I could have just typed in probably like the page number, but I like to do things the difficult way. Not really, but just to make up for my goof there. Without actually apologizing. See what I did there? Yeah. Okay, so origins and concepts of digital literacy. So usually what I'll do is I'll begin reading, and at the same time what I'll open up is I have here, this is, so I have a grad school folder, composition theory and pedagogy, and then, where is it? Digital literacy research. So I open that up, and that is my research page from where I will start. So here was my first, one of my first ones I found. Right now I have 4 sources. I know it's not a whole lot, but like I said, this week is getting it done, getting in tons of articles, and just being awesome, because last week I was awesome with linguistics, and this week it's comp theory and pedagogy. Yay! Okay, hopefully I'm not being really loud. I apologize if I'm really loud, you guys. Okay, so this first one I found was just digital literacy, and it was really interesting. It kind of gave me different details about kind of just defining what digital literacy is. And so, so what I kind of do, as you can see, is here I have some different quotes that I took from the writing, and what I'll do then later on is put them into kind of my, I'll change it as I go, so this is kind of like, this is legit my first extremely rough draft is what I like to call it, and then from here I'll continue adding into the process of changing it and making it into my own words, without still, though, also the whole task of not plagiarizing, because that is a no, because we are grad students and we don't do that. So, so yeah, so right now this if it has quotation marks around it, it's because it's an actual quote that I copied and pasted, and it will not remain that way as the process continues and as I learn more things. These are just kind of things that I'm like, oh, that clicks in my head, but I don't know how to put it into my own words yet. So that's what things like that are. And then these are kind of things, so this is something that I wrote from what I read, having the ability, so digital literacy is having the ability to use technical devices is not the only importance for someone using digital literacy. It also requires the ability to think critically, ethically, and responsibly. So that was something that, like, basically, I think it was 2 paragraphs I had read and tons of information, and I was like, okay, summarize this, because obviously it's a white paper and we're supposed to give the D information, but it's not like an overload of 30 pages, thank goodness. So I kind of need to summarize, because there's a lot on digital literacy. So yeah, so digital divide, that was an interesting word. Somehow I will form that into a pretty sentence that sounds logical. This was one of the ones I used in our first white paper update. As you can see, digital literacy practices and their layered multiplicity, educational media international was the one that did it. Yeah, it's not edited right now. So this is again a quote right here that I'll change. What was interesting about this one was it kind of told you it kind of showed you how broad digital literacy is. It doesn't just mean like Google Scholar. So one of the big things that was most interesting with that article was it showed you where digital literacy is used. So, and they did this research where they learned that for students used Facebook, email, and Microsoft Word for work, home, and college, while home and college, they only use Twitter, texting, and WhatsApp. Don't know what that is. That's okay. Work only at work did they use LinkedIn. Only in college did they use Dropbox, and only at home did they use Tumblr. And so then they kind of discusses, well, is there more versatility with these certain things? What are the pros and cons to students using Facebook for everything? What are the pros and cons to students using only LinkedIn for work? And things like that. So that one was really interesting on bringing it into present day. So probably this article will definitely go into my linking like at the end of the white paper, kind of like summarizing, okay, so this is where we're at now with the process. Ooh, people yelling outside. Yay! Okay, and then Little John, Beetham, and Michaela. Yes, his name is Little John. I know it is epic last name. I'm jealous. They did an article, Learning at the Digital Frontier, a review of digital literacies in theories and practice. And this one was really interesting because it kind of went into different, see here, it has benefits of, what are the pros to digital literacy in the classroom. This one really goes into digital literacy in the classroom and teaching and how it's important for education. These were some quotes that were really cool that I'll integrate into my paper, not quoting it and not also plagiarizing it or summarizing it, but getting the overall idea of what it's saying into my own words. And I really can't do that during this. I would love to be able to be here's a quote, this is what I'm going to change, but it's kind of one of those things where I will literally be reading another article and then all of a sudden that other quote will come to mind and I'll be like, oh wait, let's change that. So maybe I'll have some of those examples for you in the third update. No promises on that though. But we can always hope. And goals. I had something better, but I don't know. And yeah, we're just gonna move on. Okay. 3 strategy modes. Those were really interesting for digital literacy. I liked this a lot. We should not make assumptions about learners' facility with technology, which I thought was really interesting and true because, for me, I had always assumed that just high school students, they know everything about technology and they know how to use this and this and this and this and this. And they don't, they don't need to be taught any of it. They just need to be introduced into ways to use it in the classroom. But that's not always true. And that's, it's a good thing to learn, is that kind of to remember when you're using digital literacy, sometimes you're actually introducing it to them as well, so you have to keep that in mind. Oh, my battery is dying. Okay, I have 22 minutes. Yay! Because this is not going to go for 22 minutes, I promise, guys. I don't even know. Where are we right now on this? Oh, we're at 10 minutes. Oh, my goodness. Okay, I've just been blabbering for most of this anyways. Sorry. Okay. And then this is my newest, okay, right here is where it starts with, I did a little cheating, and started reading this before I discussed with you guys, and so I began reading Origins and Concepts of Digital Literacy, whole lot of information, let me tell you, and which is great, because that will probably be the opening into my white paper. As we have here, where I talked about, the term digital literacy was initially introduced by Gilster in 1997, but he wasn't the first one to use the term. It was just he was the first one that basically introduced it and said, this is what this means when we say digital literacy. And so from his basic concept, which was basically the ability to use and understand information that was provided through a variety of digital tools, from that is where it has expanded and grown. So, and I have all that in there. It's all pretty, and it's my own jargon, so yay! Hopefully but it also sounds sophisticated, hopefully. So then these were some skills of digital literacy knowledge. Yeah, just basically kind of, those seem really helpful for me to use in my white paper. We'll use them. They're not my own words yet, obviously, and I won't put them as a bullet point, but those will look really great and spiffy. And then I have here information literacy and computer literacy. Those were basically, as it says, the original concepts. Right here it says that. I feel like I haven't, like, you've just been staring at a screen all day, sorry, and just listening to me talk. But yeah, it's basically the original concepts that were used starting in, like, the 1980s, and then from those, they formed digital literacy. Because these discussed information literacy and computer literacy focus more on the skills that were required to handle and finding information, while digital literacy focuses more on the individual's personal capabilities, which basically means that, kind of how I said earlier, that, not every student knows how to use the same exact things. Like, I just now learned how to use Google Scholar, while some of you probably know it inside and out. So, and there's probably something that I know, hopefully, that you don't know how to use. Maybe. I can't think of any right now, because everyone's really intelligent in our class. Yeah. So, but anyways, just kind of, I like this because I think one of the things that I'll be looking in, that's kind of the focus of my white paper too, is the versatility that comes with digital literacy. So, digital literacy. Woo! Okay. So yeah, basically that's where I'm going with mine right now. It's not super fancy. I'm sorry that basically you just, there I'm apologizing again. Well, I'm going to apologize anyways. I'm sorry that you had to listen for that long to me just babble on about digital literacy and not really show you a whole lot. I'm plugging my computer by the way, so I'm making noises. Alright, so, that's pretty. There you go. So yeah, so that is my paper. Right now, it's not a paper at all compared to everyone else. It is just tons of notes on 4 sources, and hopefully I will have an additional source. And my latest source, as you can tell, was this was so stupid. Yeah. Well then, let's go back here, you guys, in case you don't know how to look at this. Yeah, so it was Digital Literacies, Concepts, Policies, and Practices. The chapter was Origins and Concepts of Digital Literacy, published in 2008 by D. Bodden. Great job. So yeah, that is my paper. So for my white paper, that is my research, that is my white paper update. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. The weekend is almost here. I cannot wait, and I will see you guys in class on Monday. Peace out.